Yeah, Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Pour Modelo, lit cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Pour Modelo, lit cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laughs in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Pour Modelo, lit cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time to raise that bar. New episode, new week. I.O.W. Sports Show, Late Night Owl Edition. What's happening, folks? How we doing? I'm doing great. I'm feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. Hey, man. Great weekend in sports. College football was off the chain. Not too many crazy upsets. But as y'all see the headlines for tonight's show, what we got planned for the script, hey, gonna definitely recap week 9. We're getting to the, I think we're getting to that point in the season where, everybody's banged up. It's the battle of attrition, who could outlast or not let the injuries, fold their season. Obviously we'll talk about Dennis Allen get fired. So we'll recap week 9. Saquon, woo, that man is not of this world. He's ridiculous. But I want to talk about more Saquon, more in depth on the importance of a GM, general managers, these teams GMs. Because you look at what Saquon is doing, it makes you, especially if you're a Giants fan, makes you question why y'all didn't pay that man. And then, of course, obviously the trade deadline is tomorrow. I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the trade deadline cutoff. So we'll kind of tie that into GM role and the importance of that. But of course, hey, let's start right here. Monday Night Football had a thriller. Kansas City Chiefs, man, y'all know that's a squad. I definitely root for them. I'm from the city. Man, they don't like blowouts. I swear they don't. I swear that they like messing with our heart rates and making us sweat it out and making us just heart palpitations just keep going and keep fluttering. I feel like my heart's about to jump out my damn chest every time they play. I swear that's what it is. Overtime, I win 30-24. But you got to give some respect to definitely got to show some respect to the Buccaneers. They were game and made this a great game. And I know a lot of people I didn't think it was going to be a great game because Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, not being available due to injuries. But hey, I've seen enough Chiefs games. You know what people expect them to do. They said, "Yeah, we don't care what you're expecting us to do. We just want to win the game," and that's what they did. Still the only undefeated team in the NFL, 8-0. They keep on trucking, keep on going. But look, I don't know if this is a, I don't think this is a recipe for success for the Chiefs. Me personally, I don't care if they go undefeated or not. I really don't. I would. So let me say this too, because I think if the Chiefs go undefeated and they win the Super Bowl 3 in a row, let's be honest. I think you kind of, do you start having that conversation of between him and Tom Brady? Despite that, he probably won't get to 7. Maybe not. Who knows? He still has some time to go. He's only 28, 29 years old, so he has time. You never know what happens. But also, I just think it's a interesting conversation that you should be able to have if Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were able to go undefeated and win a third Super Bowl in a row. Because that would be literally 2 things that Tom Brady couldn't do, and that literally puts you in that only team in that stratosphere. So I think if you have that conversation, if it were to be accomplished, I could make a case. A lot of people are going to call Tom Brady the GOAT, but I think that conversation is totally changed, or at least some serious thoughts of saying Patrick is the GOAT, and he still has time left to play. If he does 2 things that Tom couldn't do. Just saying. I think that changes a lot of that quote-unquote GOAT conversation as the greatest of all time quarterbacks. But let's not look too far ahead. Let's look at tonight. There's 2 things. Obviously, after this, we'll have our conversation about, general manager roles and the importance of it. But let me brag about Brett Veach. Let me brag about Brett Veach, the general manager for the Chiefs, real quick. Him making that trade for DeAndre Hopkins paid dividends. And I made no bones about it. I've never been shy about the situation. A couple of years back when DeAndre got released from Arizona and was a free agent, and he had the possibility to, sign with a winner, because that's what he said he wanted to do. So Buffalo, Kansas City, and some other teams were on this list. He chose to go to Tennessee for the money. All right, let's be honest about it. That's what he did. All right. At that point in time, I was not a fan of acquiring him at that time, because if you had looked at the way that he was trending, and the reason why I also think Arizona released him is because he was starting to become often injured, and he was getting older. Already hit the 30-year mark. He's 32 now, but he already hit the 30-year mark. In NFL, that's the OG. That's not spring chicken. Teams start looking at you as waiting for you to fall off the cliff production-wise the moment you hit 30 in the NFL, for the most part. It's almost your birthday and you hit 30 is almost like the is like a message of doom. Like it's almost damn near like the end of your career. That's how most general managers treat it. But to brag about Brett Veach, and to the credit of D-Hop, he's been staying relatively healthy for the last couple of years. So that's that. But this is why you get D-Hop. That pass that Patrick literally threw it up into triple coverage, had no business throwing that football. No business. Matter of fact, I don't know how 3 Buccaneers did not come up with that interception. But the fact that DeAndre Hopkins made that in traffic, boom, that's why you go and get him. Then you look at the 2 red zone touchdowns that he got, singled up, out wide, single coverage. He wins that matchup 9 times out of 10. More times than not, he's going to win that matchup. And that was one of the Chiefs' biggest issues. All right. For those who don't watch a lot of Chiefs games, I can tell you the red zone, and when it comes to the Chiefs offense, has been a bugaboo. All right. It's been one of those things that literally absolutely just is cringy to watch. It's like, bro, what are y'all doing? It's like y'all get to the 20 and y'all forget to play offense. And sometimes they settle for field goals when it's like, bro, what are you doing? You're right there at the doorstep. All you got to do is get up them stairs, wipe your feet on that welcome mat, put that key into the, into the lock, turn that sumbitch, and open the door. You're right there. And the Chiefs have really absolutely struggled in the red zone, not just this year, the last couple of years. It's been probably one of those things that keeps the Chiefs from being a close to perfect team. It literally is one of those things. And then you see why you get DeAndre Hopkins. He's a red zone killer. 2 TDs tonight in the red zone. Then you add that to the literally the magnificent catch he had no business catching in the middle of 3 defenders. Had no business catching that, but he came down with it. That's why you get DeAndre Hopkins. That's why General Manager Brett Veach is damn good at his job. But I will say this. If the Chiefs mess around and win the Super Bowl, they don't have to go undefeated. But if they mess around and get the Super Bowl, and DeAndre Hopkins from here on out plays a big role in that, I don't know if too many other teams are going to be that willing to help the Chiefs in the future. Because it's like, why? You already got back-to-back Super Bowls. Ever since you got Patrick Mahomes, it's been nothing less of the AFC Championship game. You are literally the dynasty that is just won't go away. If DeAndre Hopkins gets them to a 3-peat, I don't know if too many teams in the future are going to be so eager. For some reason, Buffalo keeps helping the Chiefs out. They made a trade for the Chiefs to get Xavier Worthy. They made the trade for the Chiefs to get Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. Besides the Bills, there's 30 other teams that I think just will not help the Chiefs out in the future. And here you had the Titans this year helping the Chiefs out with the trade with DeAndre Hopkins. Then you had the Patriots helping the Chiefs out with getting Josh Uche, who was very limited tonight, but he had a pressure and he almost blocked the punt. So he almost paid dividends instantly for the Chiefs. So if you see these players just getting traded to the Chiefs or get picked up on free agency, I don't know how many more times that people are going to be willing to help the Chiefs in the future. But I'm also looking at the other move that Brett Veach made as general manager. And that's bringing back Kareem Hunt. And the reason why I'm obviously are going to rave about the Chiefs getting back Kareem Hunt is because fact of the matter is that ever since he's been back, I did not have expectations of him to be a great contributor. I was under the impression that, hey, he was just going to kind of help hold the fort down while Pacheco gets healthy, be in the committee with P-Ron, Steele, whenever they decide to use Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Whenever they decide to do that, I thought he would be just a part of the crew. But ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that he has absolutely exceeded that. In the 5 games that he has played with the Chiefs, 111 carries, 414 yards, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. Clearly, he has been a complete, savior, dare I say, to the offensive room, especially to the running back room. You don't have to rush Pacheco back now because you got a guy who still has more than enough in the tank to hold it down. I mean, literally, the guy has absolutely been phenomenal for the Chiefs since he's been back. Gets the game-winning touchdown tonight. He got in the end zone tonight. 27 carries, 106 yards. This guy was on the couch, y'all. And he literally comes in and just, revitalizes. Matter of fact, he's been so great that the Chiefs' offense is more running. They're more physical. This is something that I thought I would never see under an Andy Reid team, that they would not be scared to run the football, get him established. I mean, 27 carries tonight, 21 carries last week. Not sexy numbers, 21 carries, 59 yards. He did get in the end zone, but still, you see that they're giving him the effort to run the football. That was against the Raiders last week, 21 carries, 27 carries tonight. He gets 22 carries, 78 yards, 2 TDs against the San Francisco 49ers a couple of weeks back. I mean, he make no bones about it. They have not been shy about using him. The other Monday night game against the Saints, 27 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. His debut back with the Chiefs. 14 carries, 69 yards. That was trying to get him back in, acclimated to being with this offense. But the guy has been literally a godsend. He has absolutely been something that you absolutely glad that general manager Brett Veach went and got. They were able to put the past in the past. Hey, yeah, we loved you the first time around. We drafted you. You made a bad mistake, or you didn't walk away from a situation. You didn't tell the truth. You was dishonest. They didn't like that. You got released. And that was in the middle of him having a fantastic sophomore year with the Chiefs. Remember, he led the league in 2017 as a rook. Was having another phenomenal season. And that happened late in the season. They released him. Chiefs probably go to the Super Bowl that year in 2018. Might even win it. But bygones be bygones. It is what it is. Move on. They brought him back. He spent some time in Cleveland. Bring him back. They released him. I don't know why they released him. They could have used him. Nick Chubb was out for the first few weeks of this season. They could have used that production. And they didn't. He comes back to Kansas City because they absolutely needed it. Pacheco was gone. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the point in time that Kareem was signed, he was on IR. Carson Steele, loved the guy, Mr. Crocodile Dundee, but he's a rook and he's had a couple of fumbles. Can't do that. But I will give credit when credit's due, and Brett Veach, with these 2 acquisitions of getting Kareem Hunt off the free agency wire, getting DeAndre Hopkins in a trade, which pretty much he fleeced the Titans. He got them to pay majority of the contract. He gave him a 5th rounder. At most, it can be transitioned to a 4th. So what? Have it. Give us the All-Pro. Give us the future Hall of Famer. Thank you. He wakes up. He goes to sleep 1-6. Wakes up undefeated. And he's paying dividends and only been with the team 10 days. 10 days. All right. Been with the team 10 days. He did play last week against the Raiders, had a couple of catches, but you kind of saw what the possibility could be with him in this offense. Then you see the full fruit of the labors tonight. Magnificent catch that had no business being thrown. He bailed Patrick out, made a phenomenal catch in between 3 defenders. Gets 2 red zone touchdowns, helps them get the red zone offense better. And then, let's not forget, made a great play late in the game in OT, gets an out route, makes a guy miss, gets about a 15-yard gain. You absolutely got to love what the Chiefs are doing. But let's flip it. Let's look at the Buccaneers. I know the stats are not great, numbers-wise, aren't sexy for what Baker Mayfield did. You're not. But you know what? I thought Baker Mayfield was game tonight. Absolutely game. 23 of 31, 200 yards, 2 TDs, took a couple of sacks. But you know what you love to see from Baker Mayfield? 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. And let's be honest, Baker Mayfield, to be honest, has been playing great football since he's got to Tampa Bay. Has been playing phenomenal football since he's got to Tampa Bay. And I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to put it out there. Do you think Cleveland probably was a little bit premature on getting rid of Baker? I know hindsight is 2020. Shout out Man Down Sports. Shout him out. But Baker has been playing good football in the Tampa Bay's Buccaneer uniform. Got him to the playoffs last year. Beat the Eagles in the first round. Should have won that game against Detroit. Could have won that game against Detroit. Playing good football this year. He had no business being in that game tonight. He's down 2 receivers. He could have won that game tonight. So I got to ask that question. Was it little premature that Cleveland got rid of him? I'm just asking a question. Was it a little premature? I know hindsight 2020 might have been a little bit premature. Let's not forget he helped Cleveland erase a playoff drought for years. Erase a playoff drought. I know he had an up and down career with Cleveland. But maybe, just maybe, you get the right coaches around him, make some right transactions, get some right pieces around him. What he's doing in Tampa Bay might be easily what he possibly could have been doing in Cleveland. I'm just proposing a question. I'm not saying if Cleveland Browns made the right or wrong decision. Now, it was time for him to go. Change the scenery was good for him. Yeah, and it worked out great for him. Ain't worked out so great for Cleveland so far. They're stuck in with a whole bunch of $231 million to Deshaun, who has now midway through the season, his season is over. That's after dealing with him with a 11-game suspension. You know, Jameis Winston. I love Jameis. I thought he was hitting the right stride. Beat the Ravens. That carriage went back to a pumpkin yesterday. Clock at midnight. He went back to 50-50, 30 for 30. Jameis Winston. He got interception happy yesterday. So I don't know what to make of that. But I just proposing a question. But it so far is worked out for Baker. But here's another thing that I'm looking at with the Buccaneers tonight. I'm looking at Todd Bowles. And for those who saw the show a few weeks ago when Todd Bowles, where they were literally getting beat by the Ravens, and then all of a sudden he let's keep playing, and Godwin got hurt. I thought it was a questionable decision to keep your players in there. I didn't think you were going to come back and win the game down that many double digits in the time that you had allotted left. Whatever. You know, now you lose Godwin for the season. I thought it was a questionable decision. I thought he had a very questionable decision tonight. See, this is what you do when you play Patrick Mahomes and you play the Chiefs. You got to go take the game from him. You had that defense on his heels. You had all the momentum. You scored. Leave about, 27 seconds left on the clock? You scored. You down 23-24. Why don't you go for the win? Here's why I think you go for the win. Because look at the standings of the NFC South. You came into the season 4-4. All right. You came into this game 4-4. Vegas didn't think you were going to win. You were a 9-point underdog. There's a lot of people that bet against you, said you weren't going to win. There's analysts straight up swept for the Chiefs to win this game. They didn't think you were going to win this game. No analyst of any pregame show picked you to win this game. Because fact of the matter is, you're down Godwin, you're down Evans, you got some injuries on the defense. Nobody's expecting you to win this game. First of all, you're playing with house money. You're 4-4. You're trying to keep pace with the Falcons, who, by the way, have swept you. So you are already 2 games behind them. Now you're 4-5. They're 6-3. Now Atlanta could easily, if they take care of business, could just run away with this division, because obviously the Saints aren't competition. The Panthers ain't competition. The Buccaneers were their direct competition, and they've already swept you. So I'm looking at Todd Bowles. Why do you not go for that win? To try to at least keep pace with the Falcons. Why not? I didn't understand it. I absolutely when you have decisions like that, which I think was a bad decision, then you look at the situation with Godwin getting hurt late in the game, and a lot of people question him for that, why you got your players in there late. Then you even go back to the playoff game where he kind of conceded the game, had timeouts in his pocket, and then just let the Lions run out the clock in a playoff game. So I'm kind of looking at like, yo, what's up with your coaching decisions? As a player, you're going to start questioning. You're like, yo, what's up with coach? Like, why ain't we going for the victory? Why ain't we going for the win? You don't believe in us? And as a player, if you start questioning if your coach don't start believing in you, that's how coaches lose locker rooms, is it not? I get it. The coaching seat is a seat that, hey, you got to take it real serious. You can't be pussyfooting around with that with decisions, and you got to be firm and direct and confident in every decision that you make, whether it goes right or wrong. You got to be confident in it. I understand that, but there's some decisions we like. What? Why didn't we? And then let's take away the player side. What happens if it comes down late in the season? Atlanta starts fumbling the ball. Buccaneers get hot, but because they swept you, they got the advantage of you. Y'all end up with the same record, and y'all end up asked out the playoffs. Hypothetically, if I'm a GM, I kind of got to look at you, be like, yo, bro, some of your coaching decisions might have cost us a playoff spot. Some of your coaching decisions might have cost us a win. And then I'm trying to find the audio because I don't know about y'all. The explanation that he gave tonight on why he didn't go for the 2-point conversion was one of the most wildest reasons I heard. He said, oh, well, we had our shots and I felt more comfortable kicking it in the wet weather than go for 2. We had our chances. We had our shots. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what he said when I was watching ESPN on why he didn't go, because I was curious myself on why he didn't. Like, huh? I'm just kind of questioning, like, Todd Bowles, like, with some of these decisions, and it's like that doesn't add up. Matter of fact, it kind of had Ryan Clark baffled on why he didn't go for 2. I'm pretty sure at some point in time, as the players, especially if I'm Baker Mayfield in that offense, I'm like, bro, we rolling. Let us go for 2. We just drove all the way down here in a matter of like a minute and 30 seconds, scored the touchdown, got them on their heels. Hey, we rolling. We got all the momentum. Go for the win. What do you have to lose? And then you go into overtime. The moment that Baker Mayfield called tails and it was heads, you saw it on his face. He's like, damn, they got us. It's over. And sure enough, you let the Chiefs off the hook. Chiefs should have lost this game tonight. I don't think it comes down to that decision, but I don't think his decision to not go for it, that doesn't help the situation. Because there's 60 minutes in the football game, so I'm not going to make it seem like his decision to not go for it was the deciding factor. But damn it, it was it was a very, very questionable decision to not go for it. You got to go for the victory. I think there's going to be a point in time that he might regret that. I would. Me personally, I would have went for it. Especially when you got Mahomes and the Chiefs on the other side, and you don't want to do that. Matter of fact, I found the audio. I want to listen to this again, and I want to get everybody's opinion on it. So let's listen to why Todd Bowles decided to not go for it. Because I'm very curious. I'm absolutely very curious on why he didn't go for it. It's absolutely something that. So let's listen to it.
I thought it's a tough way to finish the game. Did you give any thought to going for 2 after the touchdown there at the end?
Very minor. We wanted to get it to overtime with the wet conditions on the field. We felt like we had to go into overtime instead of go for 2. So we had our shots. We lost the game.
I don't know. In the past, you mentioned you had communications upstairs about decisions, analytically, things of that nature. Did they advise you not to go for 2? What was?
No, we went for 1. We took our shots. We had our chances all game. We just lost the game. It didn't come down to that.
Josh Hayes had a tough assignment, having to line up against DeAndre Hopkins a lot throughout the night. It was his first NFL start. How do you think he did?
He did okay. I mean, the last drive, he gave up a couple tackles that he's got.
Hold on. I got to hear that again. Wait a minute. Hey, did I hear what I thought I said? What I heard?
I thought it's a tough way to finish the game. Did you give any thought to going for 2 after the touchdown there at the end?
Very minor. We wanted to get it to overtime with the wet conditions on the field. We felt like we had to go into overtime instead of go for 2. So we had our shots. We lost the game.
I don't know. In the past, you mentioned you had communications upstairs about the decisions, analytically, things of that nature. Did they advise you not to go for 2? What was?
No, we went for 1. We took our shots. We had our chances all game. We just lost the game. It didn't come down to that.
Josh Hayes had a tough assignment.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Todd Bowles. I can't let you off the hook with that, dog. I can't. It sounded like he had no thought at all to go for 2. With the rainy conditions, it's the same rainy conditions that you just drove down the field and scored the tying touchdown. or to bring you into one. It's the same conditions. I'm floored. I'm confused. This goes back to things that I'm trying to tell people, that this is the type of shit that gets you fired as a coach. I can't rock with that. What's up, Bobby G? Yeah, Cavs are rolling 8-0. Bucs are 1-6. We have to have a conversation about that later. But come on now, Ty Bowles. Come on, man. Hey, what Herman would say, you played to win the game. That's not a winning thought process as a coach. I'm sorry. That is not a winning thought process at all. We had our chances. It sounded like he had no intention at all to go for 2. I'm sorry. I can't. I think that's a little bit unforgivable. If I'm a player and I hear that, nah, bruh. If I'm Baker Mayfield in that offense, nah, bruh, I'm not feeling that. If I'm the GM, I'm keeping a mental note of that. I'm telling you, folks, that's shit that gets you fired. Decisions like that gets you fired. You play to win the game. You coach to win the game. You didn't coach to win the game, and that's why you lost. You wanted to get into overtime? No, you don't. You don't want to get into overtime with Patrick Mahomes. He's damn near over at 80% chance of winning the game going in overtime. What are you talking about? You don't want to go into overtime with him. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Sorry, Ty Bowles. Because I like Ty Bowles. I root for him. You know, I love seeing our minority coaches in the NFL. But I'm telling you, bro, that's tough. That's tough. Speaking of GMs, GMs are going to be on the clock, man. Trade deadline. Trade deadline is coming up tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon. And I'm looking at some of these GMs in the NFL, and they get paid pretty handsomely. And I'm kind of looking at them like, man, sometimes y'all just be making some crazy decisions. One of the craziest decisions was letting this guy go.
Barkley out of the backfield. Barkley slips 2 tackles and picks up the first down, jumping up in the air to the 30. A gain of 14 for Barkley with some nifty moves along the way.
Was that not the best 14-yard gain you've seen all?
My goodness. I've never seen nothing like that ever in my life. That's some video game type shit right there. But I'm pointing this out is because you look at what Saquon is doing in the same division that he was drafted in by the Giants against a rival of the Giants. And yet the Giants, they kind of seem like they really didn't put in the max effort to keep him. Sounds like they really didn't keep the max effort to keep him. And I think it's very noticeable. Because it's not just by his play. Because if you ask me right now, Saquon Barkley is the only thing that's, for the most part, keeping the Eagles at the record that they at. Keeping them above 500. Keeping them a game behind Washington. I think he's single-handedly doing it. Matter of fact, you see a difference in Jalen Hurts having Saquon Barkley, and you damn sure see a difference in Daniel Jones without Saquon Barkley. You've had A.J. Brown miss some games, Devontae Smith miss some games. Saquon just keeps putting up numbers, keeps getting in the end zone, keeping that team alive. Because I don't think that's the same Eagles team. I don't think they're as good as they were a couple of years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. But damn it, they keep rolling. And it's not just me noticing it, it's the players noticing it. Here's Michael Parsons with a interesting take on his podcast.
People could say this is benching Saquon, but this was always who Saquon was. Since I've known him at Penn State until now, I knew this is what he was capable of. It was honestly, this is a blessing in disguise because you for Saquon, this is a blessing in disguise just off the strength of people are seeing what you're capable of when people appreciate you. The Giants did not appreciate him. And now the rest of the league is facing the consequences of the Giants' stupidity. This is always who he was. I don't want to say he lost his confidence, but he probably lost confidence in the system, the people that's blocking for him. I mean, what more can you say? The guy's been dynamic. He's been worth the money and more. Let's just say thank you to the Giants for their stupidity and what they accomplished in the last couple of years, because we're all facing it and we're about to face it this weekend. But this is always who Saquon's been. A confident back that can make any cut. His explosion, he's freaky on the football field. I mean, he's 101. And people say, people like the fact that people say this has always been him. Like, I don't think there's nothing vintage about it. Like, he is just that guy. He's one of them ones. People could say,
yeah, he is. He's one of them ones. And this is why I'm if you're a Giants fan, you got to be sick. Because you gotta sit here and look at your general manager and be like, why didn't you should have rolled out the red carpet. You should have done any and everything in your power to make sure he stayed in your franchise. Daniel Jones could have damn sure benefited from it. Imagine Malik Neighbors could have benefited from it, because Malik Neighbors, he's gonna get beat up trying to hold up that offense. He's gonna get beat up. He's already been beaten up. Missed the game. Had some concussion issues. Getting beat up trying to hold together that offense. Trying to pretty much be a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Saquon Barkley could have helped. Could have helped. And it's bad enough you let him go to the in-division rival, and he's doing what we know that he thought he would do. He's had his injury issues in New York, because he was the foundation, he was the building, he was the pillar, he was the whole damn offense. He wore down. Had some injury issues. That's what happens when you pretty much the end all be all of the offense. It's 53 men on the roster, but hell, I feel like I'm the only one on the offense. Come on, Giants. Y'all spent a whole lot of money on your defensive line. Unless they score points for you, cool. What, you gonna give extra possessions to a man, Daniel Jones, that can't get the ball in the end zone on a consistent basis? All right, sure, have at it. But these GMs are, some of these guys are crazy. Matter of fact, former GMs are crazy. Mike Tannenbaum, who's now an analyst on ESPN, he said some crazy shit. He has something crazy to say. Listen to this buffoonery.
Are going to require Myles Garrett for 3 first-round picks, Jahmyr Gibbs, and a second-round pick. And the Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. They are
they're going to throw in the Joe Louis fist. They're going to throw the GM building. Like, what else with the bridge, that big bridge to Canada?
That's what he said. No. Look, they need a pass rusher in the worst way. Aiden Hutchinson may come back. This guy is still young, in the prime of his career. And if I'm Detroit, I can win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is a good player, but he's replaceable. 3. Right. So Brad Holmes.
It's really 4 when you think about it. Because Gibbs was a first rounder last year.
Brad Holmes, who came from the Rams, the F them picks. Wait, there's going to be these are going to be low picks, and you're not going to have the ability to get.
3. Yeah. Did the Herschel Walker trade?
Yeah. Why wouldn't they win the Super Bowl with Myles Garrett? With the way this offense is going?
You win it without him. You got the right team. You got the right team, role player. Go get the Jameson Smith and keep your pick. Jameer Gibbs is their home run hitter. There's just a team that's based off running the football. Zadarius Smith will be just fine. You get him for a box of Kool-Aid.
Myles Garrett may be the best player in the NFL, not a quarterback.
Why the walk-off?
What does TJ Watt say about that?
Why the walk-off? Because this team is good enough to win without making that type of change. I do believe that they do need to go out and get another rusher. You can look at that team.
Smith.
I'm about to say, you can look at that team on the other side of the football or on the other side of the line of scrimmage and say, okay, let's go get Zadarius Smith. And you can get him for much cheaper because giving up Jameer Gibbs is giving up part of your offensive identity. Yeah. And the offensive identity of this team, to me, is what is the driving force to them winning the Super Bowl. You can't change Knuckles and Sonic. Right? When you give people a nickname, you don't get to trade them. That's not how it works in Montgomery, by the way.
Don't get me wrong. I think Jameer Gibbs is a great player. Yeah. I'm saying from a team building standpoint, to get somebody like Myles Garrett is almost impossible.
Ryan Clark, he's funny. Mike Tannenbaum is high as hell when you made that trade proposal. I see why you're a former general manager. And let's not forget, he was a general manager for the Jets. Y'all seen how they've been over the last 50 plus years. A general manager's, you have an important role. You can't have for him to be a former GM making a asinine proposal like that shows me why the Jets were they were when he was a GM and why he's a former GM. Emphasis on former. Hey man, these GMs got an important role, and you got to take it serious, man. Giants, you failed your team, failed your fan base. Mike Tannenbaum, well, you showed that you failed numerous times, but you got. That's laughable. I can't believe he said that. You got to take this job serious, and you can't be stuck. I give John Lynch credit. He admitted made a mistake with the Trey Lance trade. Not only did you give up picks to go get him, but it just didn't work out. All right, he moved on. Bill Belichick, when he was in his bag as a general manager, because he was a general manager of the Patriots, he was always good on having talent on the defensive side for the most part. And when he noticed that they were about to hit a ceiling, he traded them. Traded Richard Seymour. Y'all remember Richard Seymour was dominant on the D-line. He was like, oh, he's creeping up to 30. His production's going down. Sent him to the Raiders. Got some picks back. Got some good picks back, compensation back for him. He ain't doing shit for the Raiders. But those picks turned into other things for the Patriots, help their dynasties stay alive. Hey man, these general managers, man. Sometimes you could easily make or break a franchise or a team based off your decisions. Easily do it. And you got to give credit to the general managers who are aggressive enough to realize, even if you're on a good team, hey, we need a little bit more to stay a good team and possibly hit the other atmosphere to be a great team. Or you could be like Mike Tannenbaum and mess around and be a former GM. Point blank. So some of these GMs, get your shit together. Otherwise, you're going to be on the same network proposing silly-ass trades like Mike Tannenbaum. Just saying. Get your shit together. And that GM from the Buccaneers is going to definitely be looking at Todd Bowles. I mean, crazy. Let's recap week 9. Got about 10 minutes left in the game. Man, I got to say this. For the Rams to be beat up, they are very damn competitive. Give credit to Sean McVay, the coach. Give credit to Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, been in and out of the lineup, and they still been finding ways to win. Shout out to my man DeMarcus Robinson, former Chief. Great touchdown he had last week yesterday to win the game. Belichick. Hey, I'm not a fan of Belichick, but I will always give credit to a man that, he's football savvy. Ain't too many people that can say on this planet Earth probably got more football savvy than him, or match his football savvy. Not too many people. But no, I give the Rams credit for what they're doing. I also give the Cardinals credit. Did y'all look at the standings in the NFC West? Look who's your leader. Arizona Cardinals at 5-4, followed by the Rams 4-4, 49ers 4-4, Seahawks 4-5. This ain't the prettiest division, but I got a feeling when we get closer to January, into December, this might be the most exciting division because they got some teams that are just kind of just floating around each other, and they gonna play a lot of division games at the end of the year, and they all gonna matter. All those games gonna matter. Matter of fact, right now, as you know, Week 10 starts on Thursday. I think every game matters for every team in that division. That's gonna be an exciting division to watch down the stretch. But no, Seahawks lose to the Rams. I don't know what to make of the Seahawks. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're terrible. I don't know what's going on with them. But the Rams always find a way to still stay competitive despite cats in and out of the lineup. Give them credit. Lions and Packers. Jordan Love. I still think he's a good quarterback. He's damn sure the future. They already paid him, so he's the future of the quarterback for the Packers. But sometimes, it's okay to throw the ball away. Sometimes I prefer, as a football fan, you take the sack instead of throwing some of these bonehead interceptions that he's throwing. He now leads the league in interceptions now, and he's missed some games. So missed like 3 or 4 games, and he's leading the league in interceptions. So you think about you got to be more mindful of the decisions. That's all. I mean, it even goes back to that bonehead interception he threw on first down against the 49ers when him and the Packers had the momentum. Obviously, we could have won that game. Lions. Despite Mike Tannenbaum's foolish proposal, Jahmyr Gibbs played a key role in the Lions winning that game against the Packers. Matter of fact, Jahmyr Gibbs has played a significant role in how good that offense is. They can win it with big plays. They can win it by just, pounding the rock, playing old school football. They've got a multitude of ways how that offense could roll. Hands down best team in the NFC. Not just record-wise, 7-1, but visually. And I know they're without Hutchinson, but they still are winning. They're still finding ways. So that's all to the Lions. These are not your grandpa's or your father's Lions. These are not the Lions we grew up on. All right. They bust through the glass ceiling last year. This year, they came in with expectations, and they're far exceeding them. There's a difference between being a perennial loser for forever and then all of a sudden get some roster pieces, still lose, and don't live up to those expectations. Jets. And an actual perennial loser for all of our lives, bust through the glass ceiling, and then the next year exceed and go far beyond the expectations. Lions. See the difference? Huge difference. Jaguars suck. Y'all sure y'all don't want that money back from Trevor Lawrence? You sure? Yeah. You didn't have to pay him. I would have waited till our rookie deal last moment it expired before I made a decision on that. That man's a turnover machine. Eagles, find a way to win. Find a way to win. Devontae Smith made a hell of a catch. Cardinals, like I said, they beat up on the Bears. I tried to tell y'all people, don't buy that Bears hype. Don't buy it. Oh, they're 4-2. Yeah. Now they 4-4. They lost 2 in a row. Yeah. They coming back down to earth. And who they lost to ain't been, some of the teams in the NFL that you think are perennial players or perennial teams. Not at all. Lost to the Hail Mary to the Commanders. Of course, number 29, he got benched for it. Should have had that game, but bad teams do bad shit. Point blank period. Didn't you just get a dog walk by the Cardinals? So try to tell people, let the schedule play out, because they down the line they're gonna play some teams that are better than them. If they beat them, then I can say, they're going somewhere. Now they're coming back down to earth. Patriots and Titans, I'm not gonna talk about too much about that game. Win the overtime. Titans still a bad team. They just happen to be the team that's on their level. I mean, Patriots are not a good team. No offense. Just enough defense to keep them in games, but they can't score. If the defense was dominant and getting turnovers and turning them into points, I would feel a lot different about the Patriots, but that's not the case. That ain't the case. Dolphins, Bills. Bills will rid out Amari Cooper. You can see the difference. Dolphins finally got some offense going, got 27 points. Tua has managed to play well in these last 2 games. But hey, I think they're too far behind to make a difference. Now, they're 2-6. Yeah. You're playing for pride at this point. Playing for pride. Broncos, Ravens. Broncos defense got exposed. Went up against a high-powered Ravens offense. I still think the Ravens are still one of the better teams in the NFL. I know they had the hiccup against the Browns last week. I think they were playing with the food, and it came up and bite them. But they bounced back very, very well, beating down the Broncos. Chargers 27-10 victory over Browns. Look, I'm still not buying the hype on the Chargers. You look at their schedule. Yeah, their defense is playing better. They're running the football. Justin Herbert is now a play action type of quarterback now, just because Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football. Shout out to J.K. Dobbins. That man had 2 years in a row, had some significant severe injuries that I know he had one. Achilles was 1 year, ACL was the other, and he's bounced back admirably, and he's playing some damn good football. But I'm still not buying stock into the Chargers. Beat somebody worth of significance. I'll start buying the hype once you do that. Look, I get it. You play the schedule that you got. If you're better than the team, you're supposed to beat them. But need your signature win. Saints, Panthers. Oh yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself, Saints. Got your coach fired. Lost 7 in a row. Man, it was all good about 7 weeks ago. Yeah, it was all good 7 weeks ago. Week 2, we was talking about the Saints. Oh man, look at that high-powered offense, 40 plus in the first 2 games against the Panthers and the Cowboys, and 7 weeks later, you lose to that same Panthers team and got your coach fired. Didn't this Allen deserve it? Look at his record. He was way below 500. Oh yeah, he deserved it. I get it. Injuries, cool, whatever. But they were not a complete team with him as the head coach. He was a more defensive coach. Obviously, you see how, the offense took a step back the last 7 weeks. I get it, injuries. But hey, when you lose 7 in a row and you lose to one of the worst teams in the NFL, did you really think you were going to keep your job? Nah. Go ahead, give them a DHL, your mailing address. They'll back your office up for you. Yeah. Give us that key card and give us your playbooks. It's a done deal, pimp. Oh, Bryce Young got a W. That sit down might have helped him, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking like a little premature after 2 weeks. Probably could have stuck with the youngin. Just saying. But hey, shout out to Bryce Young getting that dub. Raiders, Bengals. See, that's what you need, Bengals. You need to beat the Raiders like that to give you that confidence, like you're still going to make the playoffs. Do I think the Bengals are still going to make the playoffs? They're 4-5. I mean, it's you really look at it, you're not too far off. I definitely think they can make a chance to sneak in as a 7th seed. I mean, right now, if you look at it, the Broncos are 5-4. 8th seed would be Indianapolis. 9th seed would be Cincinnati, and they're both 4-5. So Bengals do what they normally do: start off cold in the first few weeks, and then finally turn it on. And look at them now in wild card position. And not shocked that they did that. I mean, come on, you still got Jamar Chase, you still got Joe Burrow throwing him the football. Got to find a way to keep T. Higgins healthy. He's pissing me off. I got him on my fantasy team, and he keeps getting ruled out last minute of some games. So whatever. Anyway, Commanders get the dub 27-22 over the Giants. Look, I'm still a fan of the Commanders, but this is now 2 weeks in a row that they've played down to their competition. You're better than the Giants. What are you doing in a nail biter with them? I get it. Division game. Cool. I get it. I understand. They know you better than the other teams outside your division. I understand that. But it took a Hail Mary and it took a divine intervention to not give up that game yesterday. Commanders got to be careful. Either come out hot and make a statement, or you're just going to keep doing this where you getting Hail Marys and you just barely escape a bad Giants team. You got to do something about that. Colts, Vikings. I see a lot of Colts fans kind of irritated about Joe Flacco's performance. They were like, oh, man, should have stuck with Anthony Richardson. Look, Anthony Richardson would have struggled yesterday. That defense of the Vikings, they're legit. All right. I know they had a 2-game losing streak. Me personally, I think it was because, Sam Darnold's coming back down to earth. People are like, you may start at 5-0, but that's still Sam Darnold. He looked good in his first 5 weeks, but that's still Sam Darnold. In the last 3 weeks, he looks like Sam Darnold. All right. He's still Sam Darnold. The IC ghost guy. That's still him. He's starting to get turnover happy. His defense bailed him out yesterday. Brian Flores bailed him out yesterday. Say what you want. Love what Brian Flores is doing. Will he get another shot in the NFL? I don't think so, but he should. I think they're going to find a way to just keep him as a D coordinator because, they don't like you Negroes making noise about how we do things in the NFL and attaching racism to it. Just saying. I hate what I just said, but facts is facts. No, we're not racist. We'll make him a D coordinator. All right. Watch this whole coaching carousel happen at the end of the year. His name should be at the top of the list. I'm curious to see how many interviews he gets. Just saying. What else went down? Texans and Jets. I don't know what to make of the Texans anymore. I think they're still a good team, but it look like I don't think they're able to overcome the injuries on their offense. Just lost Stephon Diggs. Nico Collins is yet to come back yet off of IR. Offense is kind of flattered. They flatlined. I still love CJ Stroud. I picked him to be my MVP this year, but he is not playing MVP-like football this year. His O-line has kind of been shaky the last few weeks, and they've been getting after him, and it shows. I don't want to say it's a true regression, but it's a little bit of a sophomore slump compared to his rookie season. He had a great rookie season. I was thinking he was going to be able to recreate that, but things just kind of not going away. I think they're still a very talented team, still a good team. But you losing to the Jets, I think that's a terrible loss. I don't care what nobody say. The Jets are still a terrible ass football team. All right. Still terrible. But they found a way to beat the Texans on Thursday. And then, of course, Cowboys, Falcons. Here we go. Watch them Dirty Birds. This is another reason why you go and get the win tonight, Todd Bowles. You got to keep pace with them Dirty Birds. They already swept you. Kirk Cousins is starting to look like he's getting more comfortable week in and week out with that offense. All right. Look like we're finally starting to get the Kyle Pitts that we've been asking for. He's starting to cook. Drake London, if he can stay off the sideline with these injuries, he's having a breakout season. Hell, Darnell Mooney, a slot receiver that's been pretty much, a nomad. He's getting numbers with Kirk Cousins. Ray McCloud. Do y'all even know who Ray McCloud is? I mean, I know who he is because I watch a lot of football, but Ray McCloud is getting numbers with Kirk Cousins. Say what you want about Kirk Cousins. When that man is surrounded by talent, when he had Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, both of them cats put up 1,000 yards. When Kirk Cousins has the dogs, when he has the horses in the stables, the man puts up numbers. And he's starting to get cooking with those players, starting to get cooking with London, McCloud, Mooney, Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. Sorry, apologize. Watch out for them Dirty Birds, them Falcons. Watch out for them. And then, of course, the Cowboys, they're not a good team. I'm not going to speak too much on the Cowboys. Look, now Dak is going to be out several more weeks. Parsons has already been hurt. Lawrence has already been hurt. They're not a good team. Defense is not good. Run offense, not good. I know there's a lot of contributing factors to that. And Dak Prescott hasn't played well. I'm not an idiot. I know you Cowboys fans want to. Nobody's oblivious to what the hell's been going on. We know that your owner is a meddler. We know that your owner did absolutely nothing in the offseason to make the team better. We know exactly what's been going on in that building. But Dak Prescott, the $60 million man, he ain't been playing good football. So all these, our owner ain't did this. He ain't do that. We didn't improve here. We ain't do this. We still got Mike McCarthy. We still got this. I understand that. No team's perfect. Everybody got flaws. But the $60 million man, the richest man in the NFL ain't playing good football. Don't forget about that neither. Point blank period. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. I know what it is. Tap in with all the social media platforms at the bottom of your screen. And then, of course, you want to chop it up with me personally, going over to my Twitter page, KC Wildcard on Twitter. I'll be there doing my thing, posting all the content that I be dropping. Tap in with me. Show me some love. Like, share, subscribe. Spread the word what I got going on, what we got going on over here at I.O.W. Sports. And until then, I will see y'all tomorrow night for another episode of the I.O.W. Sports Show Late Night Al Edition. Until then, it's been real. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace and love, y'all.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mall. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card.